break it otherwise, Sylvia. Has everyone seen it? No. I know I have the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future, Jeremiah 29:11, which is one of our life verses. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this incredible evening. It's been such a blessing for both Sylvia and myself to hear the words that we heard tonight. And there's parts of me that felt very uncomfortable because anytime anything focuses on us, it gets uncomfortable, but it's outweighed by just opportunity to be with each and every one of you in person. And I'm grateful for that. Vicki, I'm so thankful and for your graciousness in hosting this evening. And I'm so grateful, you know, as I speak to folks, and I'll share with everyone kind of where we're at in a little bit, but as I speak to folks, and it always comes around to, okay, well, you're interim CEO, you know, were you a candidate for the CEO position? And I said yes, and then and he says, they kind of ask what happened, and I says, well, the reality is, if I were on the search committee, I would have picked Vicki too. So that's very easy, and it's very clear that, as you have said many times, that you have been called for this season to be with opportunity, and opportunity will be blessed by your leadership. And I look forward to seeing opportunity grow to even greater heights. So thank you for accepting the calling and for being the leader that you are. Thank you to, I can't believe you guys are here, but David and Harry had the great privilege of working with the both of you, my interim CEO role. You guys are both such great, godly men, and it was an absolute pleasure working with the both of you. So thank you for just being who you are, and thank you for accepting the calling too. And I know between the three of you and others that opportunity is in great hands. And I know there's enough challenges on the table right now to keep everyone busy. But I look forward to a time where the light at the end of the tunnel just becomes brighter and brighter. And I'm confident that will happen. You know, during the interim CEO time, I lean very, very heavily on a lot of people, and you're all in this room tonight. On the senior leadership team, with Connie and Rick and Jennifer and Dennis, lean very, very heavily on that team. And we could not have made it through that time period without all of them. We could not have made it through without the leadership of Greg Roth and Steve Nelson and their respective teams. Because the CEO role took a lot of my time, and it consumed a lot of my time, but I knew it could be done because the resource development team was in really good hands. And I also knew that the resource development team and the RDs and the DRAs and everyone throughout the whole organization, that we had all the right people. So I knew that we could get through that time period. So thank you to every single one of you. If I thanked every single one of you individually, we'd be here all night, and I know you guys want to get back, so I'm trying to keep this short. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. These last 5 years have been the most incredible and blessed season we have ever had in our lives. And being a part of this family. Now I can tell you, as I see the new opportunity, as we try to discern where the Lord wants us next, because the reality is right now the only one that knows is the Lord Himself. But as I speak to other folks, and as I speak to other ministries, When I have Opportunity International on my resume, that speaks volumes. People know of Opportunity International, and they have a lot of respect for this ministry. And so it's been relatively easy to at least get into discussions with folks. So just know that you are in a ministry that is very well respected. And always keep in mind what Richard reminded us, I remember last summer in Chautauqua, that we have all been called to be here. And you are here. And it is dependent on you, and I encourage each and every one of you to leverage your own personal gifts and talents for Opportunity International, for the kingdom, and for the callings. I also want to say thank you to Sherry. Yeah. Everybody knows what Sherry can do, and she obviously, I mean, at times I called her radar because she knew what I needed sometimes before I knew.
Try.
Sometimes. And obviously could not have made it without you, so thank you so much. And BJ, where's BJ? Oh, there she is. BJ's the one that gave me a call and asked to consider the interim CEO role. And I tell my wife all the time that she married me under false pretenses. Sylvia grew up Catholic, and when we got married, I thought she was Protestant. and yet a lot of her readings, and she's very deep into the spiritual disciplines. They're all very strong in the Catholic Church. But when I accepted the interim CEO role, BJ, you didn't tell me that Malawi was about to implode. You didn't tell me that we were going to have capitalization issues in India. You didn't tell me that there's going to be a delay in the licensing of Colombia. You didn't tell me about Serbia. You didn't tell me we'd be in arbitration over Albania. You didn't tell me about Romania. You didn't tell me about microinsurance. You didn't tell me we'd be going through a reduction of workforce.
Were you listening?
And that all happened within the first 2 months. And the reality is, BJ, nor David, nor Harry, nor anyone else really knew what was going to happen too. So, but I don't always have to tell that part of the story. It'll be something that we can kid about. But I'm so grateful for the opportunity to play a role as interim CEO. I'm grateful for your leadership of the board during this time. What that could arguably be one of the most challenging times of Opportunity's life. And the way you led the board with the grace and the wisdom that you did, we are all grateful for that. So thank you so much. And last and certainly not least is my dear wife. And yeah, I grew up in a Japanese family, and we're not real emotional. In fact, we're kind of stoic. We're taught that since birth. And at the first years of our married life, and Sylvia has Latin roots, and they're a little more emotional. And sometimes she would cry, and I'd say, "Stop crying." And I didn't understand it. And I remember sitting in church one Sunday, and one of the pastors had just come back from Australia and just listened to Darlene Check and Hillsongs, and they brought back one of the songs called "Shout to the Lord." And they were teaching us the song, and we were singing it. And in the middle of the song, I started weeping. I'm going, what the heck is going on? And it was one of those times in your life where you realize that, first of all, God has a sense of humor. And secondly, don't make fun of your wife. So ever since then, it's really easy for me to get teary-eyed, and so if I do, then I do. But you've been the rock. You mean everything. And you're the one who sacrificed everything to come to Chicago 2 years ago. Took you away from our 2 daughters, from your mom, from your sister, from your friends, from your church. You gave up your practice to move out here. And came out here, and I tended to work a few hours, and you were the one stuck in the apartment all day. So thank you for being my partner in life. Thank you for everything that you've done, not only for us, but for Opportunity International. We have been truly blessed by this ministry, and I could not have done it without you. So we look forward to the next season. Right now, the only one that knows what that's going to look like is the Lord himself. As I mentioned before, as I seek opportunities, there's a lot of respect for Opportunity International out there. So I hope to find something soon. There are opportunities both on the private sector side and the ministry side that I'm looking at. We learned a long time ago not to pigeonhole the Lord. So to tell the Lord A, B, C, D, this is what we want. The more I do that, the more he says, I'm in charge. So we're trying to be as open as possible, even if that means leaving Southern California. So we talk in preferences. Tell the Lord we have a preference of staying where we are now. And we are confident, as the life verse says, Jeremiah 29:11, we know that he has a plan for us. We are not to be anxious for anything, and to just rest in his arms. And that's what we're trying to do. And we are confident that wherever he leads us, it is where we're supposed to be. So again, we're so grateful for the opportunity to spend the last 5 years of our life with all of you. Thank you for opening up your arms. Shar talks about having lunch. The reality is, it took me 6 months to get hired by Opportunity. and they told me. And they told me they were in dire need of a regional director in Los Angeles. But then once we did have lunch, it moved a little bit faster after that, because the RD meetings were the following week in La Jolla, and I came, and that was the first time I met many of you. And those were some memorable moments for myself. I learned a lot, and I learned from some of you some of the challenges of the infrastructure and the challenges of working with one another. But what I saw more than anything is I saw the passion of the people that work for Opportunity, and the passion for what we do on a day-to-day basis. And Shar says, mentioned about working hard. I didn't find anyone that worked harder than Shar.
You work harder than anybody, John.
But it's been such a blessing to us to have this experience in this season with Opportunity International. And I would just encourage all of you that as long as you are here with Opportunity, see it as a blessing. This is a true blessing to be part of this ministry. And be encouraged and leverage your gifts and talents, because this ministry needs you. for as long as this season lasts, and hope for some of you, it's going to last a long time. Just may the Lord bless you, and may the Lord bless the work of Opportunity International. Thank you so much. We love you all.